Hello everyone. Now I'm going to discuss the Sepoy Mutiny in India from 1857 to 1858. So the discussion is now focused on the mutiny itself and the Indians who were actively involved in the Sepoy Mutiny. The Indian who initiated the Sepoy Mutiny was Mangal Pandey. In this slide, we can see the Indian government has paid a tribute to Mangal Pandey in 1984 with his picture on the Indian postage stamp. On 27th March 1857, an Indian soldier named Mangal Pandey attacked the British soldiers in protest of the use of Enfield cartridge in the military garrison in Barakpur in West Bengal, India. The Enfield cartridge contained the fat of pigs and cows. It was objectionable to both Hindu and Muslim Indians. The Enfield cartridges consisted of a .577-inch ball projectile and a charge of gunpowder propellant. It was wrapped in a waterproofed cartridge paper. Rumors spread out that the cartridge was sealed with animal grease, with beef tallow, and pork lard. Before pouring the powder down the barrel, followed by the paper wadding, the cartridge had to be torn open. To open the cartridge, the soldier would be required to use his teeth to bite off the sealed end. It offended the religious beliefs of Hindu troops to bite into beef fat or for Muslims to bite into pork lard, and it was against their religion. In this slide, we can see the picture of the Enfield cartridge, and the Enfield cartridge issue triggered the Indian Sepoy Mutiny. In the midst of Sepoy Mutiny, the Rani of Jhansi, Lakshmi Bai, revolted against the East India Company. She was the victim of Lord Dalhousie's doctrine of lapse. It meant that the company would annex Jhansi because it did not have a natural heir to the throne. The widow queen, Lakshmi Bai, had an adopted son, but the company would not accept him as an heir to the throne. Eventually, the Rani of Jhansi lost her fight against the East India Company, and Jhansi was annexed by the British Raj. So here we find that in the Sepoy Mutiny, initially initiated by Mangal Pandey, but it spread like a wildfire in many states of India, including Jhansi, where the Rani of Jhansi also took part in the Sepoy Mutiny. Sepoy Mutiny touched the rulers of many states, and they joined in collaboration and fought for their freedom from the exploitation of the British East India Company. The last Mughal emperor was Bahadur Shah Jafar II, so the mutineers and the rulers of different Indian states, they decided to get back Bahadur Shah Jafar as the active ruler or emperor of India. In the Sepoy Mutiny, the Indians lost. The rebellion or the mutineers failed in their objective, perhaps because there was lack of one leadership or lack of revolutionary leaders. The states who joined the mutineers wanted to achieve their goal, and that is freedom from the exploitation of the East India Company. But then again, there were other states who decided to stay away from this struggle. So perhaps that is the reason that there was not a solid collaboration, a solid mass mobilization from all the states of India, and that's the reason the mutiny had failed. However, in the Indian movie that was released in 2019, titled Manikarnika, the Queen of Jhansi, based on the story of Sepoy Mutiny and the policy of doctrine of lapse that affected some rulers of princely states. So this movie took me back to the historical past, and so that's the reason I have some pictures from the movie for this class to show the struggle some Indians faced while they were under the East India Company. So the Rani of Jhansi, she managed to get some allies from other Indian states, and she herself was very active on the battlefield. Here there is a dialogue which says, "The motherland is akin to a mother." So she really was very patriot. And in the film, the Rani of Jhansi is portrayed as a brave warrior, where she is saying, "Victory is ours." The Indians lost in the Sepoy Mutiny, or it is also called as the First War of Indian Independence. Though they failed, but the positive side was that we could see the rise of nationalism against a foreign company during this time. So the Rani of Jhansi was praised by Sir Hugh Rose, who led the Central Indian Campaign against the mutineers in 1858. So he commented and praised Rani of Jhansi as the best and the bravest of all, only man among mutineers. So there is a clipping of Rani of Jhansi. If the students wants to have a look into it, the movie is very inspiring. And as I said, the General Hughes Rose, who led the Central Indian Campaign during the Sepoy Mutiny, commented, "The Rani of Jhansi was one of the greatest leaders of the Indian Rebellion of 1857 and became a symbol of resistance to British rule in India." During the Sepoy Mutiny in 1857 and 1858, the last Mughal emperor, Bahadur Shah Zafar II, did not command the army, but he became the symbolic head of a revolt which united both Muslims and Hindus. Historians point out that thousands of soldiers from both religions came together to rebel against their British officers in support of restoring the Mughal rule. The Indians exhibited their solidarity and nationalism. So, this is the picture of the last Mughal emperor, Bahadur Shah Zafar II. The British crown took over India after the Sepoy Mutiny or after the First War of Indian Independence in 1858. So India went under the control of the British government in 1858. Thank you.